Hi, I'm Wynn. I'm a life coach and soul doula, supporting you in rebirthing your soul and stepping into your life with more ease and flow by clearing the pain, suffering, and limitations of your personal past, past lives, and ancestral past. And it's the ancestral past that I'm here to talk about today. So let's just dive right in, because I get very frequently asked a certain number or type of question. So I thought I'd just put it out there and make this video so you could actually just pop into it and see if it resonates with you. So the first question is, why would I want to do an ancestral clearing? Well, the fears, beliefs, and traumas experienced by our ancestors gets passed down through their DNA to us, and then we end up carrying that baggage. And we find ourselves repeating patterns and limitations. So we want to be able to clear all of that so we can move forward in life in a more empowered way. The second question I get asked very often, and this is one of the most popular ones, is, well, I have a feeling that there's trauma in my family, but what if I don't really know what kind of trauma they had? You don't have to. It's okay, because this is an energetic process. And all you do is show up with the intention of clearing any experiences, fears, and traumas experienced by your ancestral lineage. And then with the energetic process, it all gets cleared and lightens everything up. The third question, what type of issue might it help with? Well, it's great for addressing fears and anxieties. Also, patterns that we find repeating generation after generation, patterns such as abuse or sexuality issues. It also helps with how we show up in our relationships in life and how we experience love. Any limiting beliefs we have around our abilities to be able to do certain things, to succeed in life, or to be able to make a certain level of money. I mean, let's face it, a lot of people have a poverty mindset, and that is quite often because we come from generations that have experienced famine or have lived through the Depression. So we want to be able to move through that and have a more prosperous and abundant life. Have you ever heard people say, I think my family's cursed? Well, that's a possibility, because people did, and sometimes still do, curse certain people and their families. So this process is actually really wonderful in energetically clearing any kind of hexes and traumas and curses. It's also wonderful for dealing with alcoholism, racism, health issues, pain. When I did my first clearing, I actually had this really terrible pain in the back of my neck, right in the base. It was so bad that I could not turn my head past that point, and the stabbing pain was always there. So after doing my first clearing, I'm able to turn over my whole shoulder with just a slight little twinge, because I actually do have arthritis in my neck. But it has improved so much. The other thing that it's helpful for is, I'll just share one of my experiences, was that I also went in wanting to clear people-pleasing good girl behaviors. And that one I found to be really powerful. Let's connect and I'll tell you about that story. So anyway, it really does help with releasing a lot of all of those patterns and fears and beliefs that our families experienced. Another question I quite often get is, well, is it scary, or am I going to feel their pain? Actually, no. It's a really, very surprisingly peaceful experience. It's quite like a meditation, where I know for myself, I did 3 of them, and everyone that I've worked with have all come out saying, that was a beautiful experience. It was really calming and peaceful, and I feel great. Another question that I get asked is it true that me doing a clearing might affect my siblings or other extended family or even my children? Yes and no. There's a maybe here. And that's because it is energetic. So we are going to show up inviting them in for their highest good, that they might get some learnings from this. But they're not the ones that are showing up saying, I want to go through this process. And as well, if they haven't had lessons learned in their life, or they don't do the follow-up work, which is, there's always going to be something that helps affirm the process, helps integrate the process. So if they're not going through that, then it's not going to have the same effect on them. But it does open up much more possibilities for them. And what's really great about this is that it does affect 7 generations forward. So you want to do this for future generations, for our grandchildren, our great-great-grandchildren, and so on and so on. Another popular question is, what should I expect during a session? Well, first of all, we create sacred space. So it's done in a very, very sacred, safe way. Guides are called in, angels are called in. And then we talk about what attitudes, what kind of behaviors, what kind of limitations is it that you want to release from your life. So we really do this great big pour out where you just get out everything that you feel is limiting you. And then we invite the ancestors in, we invite all your current family members in. And then, as I already alluded to, it is quite like a meditation. So it's a shamanic journey where we energetically call in all the cosmic and universal energies to help release all of the suffering and heal the lineage. And then after that part is done, there's a really beautiful part that is all about your own personal healing. And then, question number 7, what happens once we clear the trauma? Well, the universe abhors a void. And you want to be very intentional with what you want to fill that void with. Because if you don't, you never know what might come in instead. So this is where it gets really fun, because we sit down and we go through all of the beautiful things that you want to install in your life. What would you rather have in your life? More peace, better health, happier connections, and more heart-centered relationships, and so on and so on. So I don't want to impose any beliefs or ideas upon you. It's all about what you want. So if this resonates with you, I would love to connect with you and take you through this awesome process of ancestral clearing. And until then, namaste and be blessed.